Hey everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Paula. Well, here in the South, the Memorial Day weekend signifies the official start to the summer season. So I thought it would be fun to share with you 2 must-have summer recipes that you will want to put on repeat this summer. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around and let's get started. Let's get started on our first recipe, Southern style pimento cheese. Now, pimento cheese is a staple in the South, and Truey's is to die for. She uses 3 different types of cheese: cheddar cheese, mild, medium, and sharp. We use 2 jars of pimentos, cayenne pepper, black pepper, Miracle Whip, and Lawry's seasoning salt. Now, some people do put cream cheese in their pimento cheese. We don't typically, but we're going to do a little experiment in which we make part of a batch with the cream cheese. The first step in making the pimento cheese is to shred up all 3 blocks of the cheddar cheese. We're going to do that in a food processor. In years past, before we had a food processor, we shredded it by hand on a box grater, and you can certainly do that. And if you're doing that, you want to shred it on the smallest grating side that you can. We don't really have a choice with the food processor. There's only one size for the grating, and so we just took the blocks of cheese and shredded them all up and put them in a big bowl. I have to say, the food processor does make the whole process much, much easier. So here you can see we've got the bowl of shredded cheddar cheese. To that, we're going to take the pimentos, the 2 small jars of pimentos, and thoroughly drain them and chop them. This is key. Draining the pimentos is a crucial step. You really want to take them and dump them over this little sieve and let all of the water, or as much of the water as you can, drain out of the pimentos. And that's what Truey is doing right here. Once they're drained, you're going to put them on a chopping board and chop them as finely as you possibly can. Again, that is a critical step. You're going to chop them for a lot longer than you think you need to chop them for. You want to get them nice and fine. And you can see here that she has really chopped them, not to the point of being completely mushy, but very, very fine. And then you're simply going to take the finely chopped pimentos, and I like to use a bench scraper, and add them to the bowl of cheddar cheese. And now I'm going to let Truey tell you how she seasons it.
This is how I do it. I've been doing it for quite some time. I would say that this is for my family. You can do yours with a measuring cup. I do a palm of cayenne pepper.
More or less depending on taste. I mean, I guess however hot you want it, or
then I look at it,
how much of a kick you want.
And I think I want one more little half palm. Both of those were half palms. Okay, that's kind of what I do.
All right.
Okay.
And how much of the black pepper now?
And then I just use ground black pepper, and I do about the same, maybe a little less, about a palm.
Okay. A scant palm, I'd say.
Let's do another one. I go by feel, okay?
Okay, I
So
can
you
already. Both of us are going to start sneezing soon because that black pepper is about to go right up our noses.
Absolutely.
Every single time you do this, it goes right up your nose, doesn't it?
And because the cheese is just salty by nature, believe it or not, and I'm a Duke's girl,
Yes.
born and raised in Charleston,
Yeah.
South Carolina, Miracle Whip is the only thing to use for pimento cheese.
Miracle Whip is a little bit sweeter, so it cuts the salty of the cheese.
And we're just going to put about that much. Enough to, probably, I may need one more. Good. There.
All right, let's see how much that is.
And then we whip that.
What do you suppose that is? Like it's 3/4 of a cup?
Yes.
Okay.
And I probably need
A little bit more.
about a cup. But I'm going to mix this.
Okay. And what's that you're adding?
I'll put maybe a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt because I just like Lawry's seasoning salt.
But the cheese is salty,
But the
so
cheese
you don't
is
really
salty.
need a lot.
So
Okay.
you don't really need a lot.
All right,
I
so
just put a
that's
little
what's in
action.
there. It's the cheese, the Miracle Whip, the pimentos, cayenne pepper, and black pepper.
It's mixed. I'm going to taste it. It takes a while to mix this because it's not easy to mix.
No, it is not easy to mix. It's a workout. And before we had the food processor, we grated this by hand, and that is really a workout. So given the amount of cheese we used, you ended up actually using that whole squeeze bottle of Miracle Whip, which is what?
It's a 19-ounce.
19-ounce jar or squeeze bottle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was 3.5 blocks of cheese.
Okay, this looks just about right consistency. Now for the taste test. You want to taste it?
You go ahead and taste it. You're the seasoning queen.
Let me see. It should have a perfect combination of salt and sweet with a little kick on the back end.
Delicious.
Just enough heat on the back end. It's perfect.
That's the cayenne or the black pepper is
A little bit of both. Black pepper tends to be hotter on the front end if it's heated, but this is not heated. And cayenne pepper gives you that little bit on the back end.
the after heat.
The after. It's just enough.
So
Perfect.
you opted not to add some of the cream cheese to it.
For this batch.
Yeah, for this batch.
Mm-hmm.
We could try a batch sometime with cream cheese, but this is our old standby, or your old standby, really.
Now for the taste test. Here we go.
That looks delicious.
Pimento cheese is delicious served on crackers or made into a sandwich. A pimento cheese BLT is hard to beat, and a pimento cheese bacon burger is even better. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and will give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. All right, we're going to move on to our second must-have summer recipe, and that is Truey's famous chicken salad. And when I say that this is delicious, I mean this is delicious. The key to this chicken salad is we're going to boil the chicken in a pot of water seasoned with a whole bunch of herbs and spices. And here is a look at what she adds. Bay leaves, celery salt, thyme, Lowry's, onion, garlic, black pepper, bouillon base, garlic, a whole host of different things. So she's going to add all of those things to that pot and boil the chicken breasts in it.
This is your better than bouillon. It's the chicken flavor. I really like this. It has so much too. You just put a nice, big, healthy, giant spoonful. I like to heat the water up so it comes off my spoon. And I use a body of minced garlic and olive oil. I mean, you can use any of the minced garlics, but we use this. And it works really well. I also I'm going to put some powdered garlic in it as well. And I just do a big, there.
That's probably two tablespoons, you think?
Yeah, about 2 tablespoons. Okay. And I always use Lawry's seasoning salt to some degree. And this is all going to be a free pour from here on out.
Okay.
This chicken, and you want to make sure you salt it. It's going to be diluted with the water.
So even though that looks like kind of a lot of salt, it really isn't salty in the end because we're just going to cook the chicken breasts in this broth. That's black pepper.
You just want to you're giving some flavor to the chicken. Again, that's just a body of ground black pepper.
That brand is always the best price usually at Publix. That's Phoebe choking in the background on, I don't know what she's doing.
Treats.
One of her treats.
And granulated garlic, again, I just put a little powder in there too. They add a little different flavor.
Okay, so fresh garlic or whatever, minced garlic and granulated garlic.
I always did.
Okay.
Always have. And then just some onion powder. I prefer the granulated onion, but this is powder. And
well, this is what we had. I got the wrong thing at Costco last time we were there, but
we're
we're just going to use it.
It's going to work fine. It's just has the same flavor.
Okay.
Okay. We have some basil. We usually have fresh basil,
I don't have fresh basil plant.
but this
yet
is actually
year.
a little stronger. When the dry herbs are a little stronger. So again, I love basil. It just gives it a great little depth of flavor.
Okay.
Also, just use some ground sage.
Ground sage.
I'll also add this again into the chicken salad along with my thyme. Any kind of chicken meal, chicken dish, you can add
ground sage.
Ground sage.
Always smells like Thanksgiving to me.
Organic thyme. I love thyme.
This is dried thyme. Yeah.
I like fresh thyme as well.
Well, we don't have a fresh thyme
But
plant
if you,
either.
you can always put that
we
in
need
there
to
as
get
well.
some. We need to get our herbs going. Finally have some rain.
I do a little celery salt
Celery
here.
salt. Okay.
Now, when I do my chicken perlo, I will use fresh celery and fresh onions and fresh carrots. But for this, I use the dried.
Okay.
A little bit of celery salt. Again, this adds a little salt to it. The chicken will
Oh,
not
that's
be
got salt too. Okay.
in the water for long, so it will not absorb.
It's just going to cook. We're just going to boil it.
I'll do a couple of 3 bay leaves. Remember to take these out if you're ever doing a dish like a stew. You don't want to consume these, but they give it a nice little flavor.
Okay.
And then lastly, I'm going to put just some fresh rosemary in here. I don't always do that, but I think it'll be delicious.
Okay.
We let that simmer.
We're going to let that cook up and come to a boil, and boil for how long before you put the chicken breast in?
I'll let it come to a boil for a good 5-10 minutes, and then I will put the chicken breast in just so it will infuse a little bit into the water.
Okay. All right.
And,
we're going to stir it up, cover it, and bring it to a boil. And the house will smell really good. It smells like Thanksgiving when it's cooking.
It already smells really good.
Yeah.
So we like that. We like the way that makes the house smell like home. We'll let this come to a boil and simmer. And we'll be right back. Come to a nice, robust boil now.
Smells so good. I love the way that smells. The kids do too when they come in the house and it smells like this. All right, and now what she's going to do is add the chicken breast, just the whole chicken breasts, right to the boiling water.
Normally I would trim this, but I want some of that good stock flavor in there. I'll trim that after. I think we're just about done here. I've had it in here for about 20 minutes, maybe 25.
Okay, just going to take them out.
Just gonna take them out. I'm gonna put them in this yellow bowl. It's my favorite bowl. Yeah, they look perfect. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And the broth is not going to go to waste, or the stock, I guess.
I'll make Ben some chicken noodle soup.
Perfect.
Well, I like to cut these up before into little pieces, strips, or dice it before I put it in the food processor.
And are you going to salt it and pepper it?
Yep.
Okay.
Still, it's just hard to season chicken.
Yeah, chicken needs a lot of seasoning, doesn't it?
It really does.
All right, so you'll chop all this up into little pieces, season it, and then put it in the food processor to get it even finer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, believe it or not, after we dice up this chicken, we're still going to season it one more time with a little Lorry seasoning salt while it's hot. Okay? About that much. Okay.
I'll get it and they can see. You can see ours is kind of orange in color, so you can see about how much that was. Maybe a teaspoon.
Yeah. And then we get that, let that marinate a little bit, and then we're going to put it in the food processor.
Chop it up even finer.
Yep.
Add what goes in it? Green onions and celery.
Yes, in the food processor.
Green onions and celery, and then some more spices and a little bit of Hellmann's mayonnaise and some Dijon mustard. But that is what is coming up next. And some sage. Yep, that's right. We'll show all that in just a minute.
I'm also going to add some Badia ground black pepper while it's still hot. I've always done that, and it seems to grab the flavor of the seasonings a little better when it's hot. I've already put the large seasoning salt on. Now just put a little bit of pepper in there. Okay, it should be ready. Green onion. It's like a bunch. And then I'll put some celery in there. I think it works better this way.
Okay, and then just buzz that up.
Yeah, we'll buzz it up.
Okay, so it's nice and fine. All right, we're gonna empty that out and then do the same thing to the chicken.
This is obviously for our family, so I'm just gonna do what I normally do. I've washed my hands, but we're gonna put all this in there.
I always use my impeccably clean hands when I'm cooking.
Me too. It's a southern way. Okay, now we're gonna get this. We're gonna do the same thing. Just give it a spin. Put it in there. Now mix it all with spices and the celery, green onion.
All right, so now you're gonna add just some.
I just do a little bit.
Ground sage.
I'm used to having my big restaurant, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of ground sage. This is strong, but it's good. I just literally put a little bit.
Maybe like an eighth of a teaspoon, maybe a quarter teaspoon, something like that.
Just a little bit. And we can always add later. And I put a little bit of
Can't
thyme.
take it out, but you can add more. And that's thyme. Okay.
Just a little bit of thyme.
About the same amount of thyme, it looks like.
A little bit.
More pepper?
Oh, no.
You already peppered and salted, right? Okay.
Help me out.
Okay.
And then for Dijon, I just do literally
just a little bit of Dijon.
The star of the show for this, unlike the pimento cheese, which is Miracle Whip, I use Hellmann's for my chicken salad, and it is yummy and creamy and wonderful.
Hellmann's is, Duke's is sort of more salty vinegary. Hellmann's is a slightly sweeter.
Smoother. Yeah. It's a smooth, nice
I'm not from the
mayonnaise.
South, so I grew up on Hellmann's.
Okay, that's gonna be.
All right, so that, and then she's just gonna basically stir all that together.
And keep
then
going.
do the taste test and keep adjusting things until it's perfect. Okay, there is the finished chicken salad. How is it, Neve? Delicious? All right, perfect.
All right, well, there are 2 must-have summer recipes that your family is sure to love. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. What are your favorite summer recipes? Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button. On the screen, I'm going to put a couple of more videos for you to watch until our next upload. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.